after this 88, between 89 and 94, the extraterrestrials came and visited me. So I'd already been off planet and knew all this stuff. That's not fair, is it? I guess some of us get to cheat. So I was telling them, why don't we have this stuff? Before that Bernard Lee's. Anyway, it was back during the time that they were writing. The guy was Strom Thurmond, right? And Strom Thurmond was calling me from Washington, D.C. He wanted me to come be a page or something. I was like, what's that? But anyway, he was telling me about that guy. What was that guy that wrote that book, The Day After Roswell? Remember him? Colonel Corso. Remember him? Did you read that?
I've never talked. I've never talked to him. No, I haven't read it.
Was it?
I've seen a lot of interviews he's done.
Why?
Huh? Do what?
What'd you say?
I said I've never read his book. I said I've never read his book and I've never talked to him, but I've seen a lot of his interviews.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He was a little guy. He somehow, was it me? Who was it? Maybe I was the little ET that picked him. It might have been me. I might have picked him. I don't know. But he was working in Strom Thurmond and Day After Roswell. I was working on that Roswell case, right? But I was over in Texas Instruments once, TI. So we divided it up before TI got it, Texas Instruments. But I remember carrying some of the pieces to different companies. So he was telling the truth. But his boss brought him in, and it was in a file cabinet. We had, back then we had, back in the day, we had 4-drawer file, 5 with these turning knobs. And so he had one when I went to Washington, right? But he didn't know what to do with that stuff. So I thought we should work with it, right? Let's see what people can do with it. But it came from the original, one of the crashes. Now, did you ever get to hear Tom talk about the crashes over in Roswell, the UFOs, the spacecraft?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's too bad. Well, they're on Blog Talk Radio back in the day. I kept most of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I ever erased anything Tom did. But Strom Thurmond, Philip Corso, me, Tom, Ronald Reagan. It was after Eisenhower got pissed off, and I was backing him up, man. I backed up Eisenhower because I was born in 51, right? So then after Roosevelt, it was Eisenhower. And I think I wrote Eisenhower in the White House. Do you remember in school, 3rd grade, did you have to do that? Do you remember you had to write the President of the United States at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C.?
I don't think I ever did.
It was a requirement. I thought kids, back in the day when I was in Monroe, Louisiana, at Ransom Elementary, I wrote the President of the United States.
It might have been a requirement at your school.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I'm involved in something, Ahmad, and I want you to write the book with me.
I know I wrote Obama.
You did? What'd you write Obama? What did you talk to him about?
I'm an activist for hemp production.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
He didn't like it too much. He wasn't happy about it.
What? Are you serious?
Sent me about a
you really got
to email about it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Well,
I wanted him to uphold campaign promise that he made. They won't even let me start a petition on the White House page anymore.
Well, that for Trump or for Obama?
Anybody, I'm banned from it.
From the White House itself, the computer,
from the White House,
the program,
from the petition page. I started too many petitions.
Oh, you're a petitioner. You made too many, so they decided you were a threat. You're not a threat, are you? You're just trying to gum up the works.
I'm a realist. We don't need to use what we have. 60,000 products can be made tomorrow using hemp that will save our, cut our oil supply by 40% in 5 years.
What makes you think they would want to? That's why we went from hemp. We had hemp, remember, back in the day.
I know.
But yeah, they're coming back. They're coming back to it. When I left Kentucky,
it's ridiculous.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's the donkey elephant game. In the game of life, the bigger picture.
It has nothing to do with people getting high, because people are going to get high regardless if it's legal or not.
Yeah, they don't care about that. What they care about is the world banking system, and the Rothschilds got, back with Napoleon. It really does start there with Napoleon and the five brothers. My family, think about it, my daughter was a Bowers. You know who the Bowers were?
Mm-hmm.
They were the Rothschilds. My daughter married into that family, Bowers, right here in Las Vegas. They're poor over here in America. They don't care about their chillins, their names on down the line. But everything gets diluted, right, all the way down the line. But I'm not saying I was related blood or nothing. Don't get me wrong, folks. But I found the story intriguing when you do genealogy and stuff and the name Bauer. But think about it. Back when that some king over there, I can't repeat the name. I should, because it's in my brain somewhere. But just real quick, on radio waves, one of the stories, that's an important story because it changed reality. But, when we got in trouble, and what's his name over here, Rockefeller, they thought Rockefeller was the big dude that pulled America out. Come to find out, he'd gotten his money from the old country, the Red Shield people, which was the Rothschilds, right? Because those brothers, when they were back in the King and Napoleon with France, and they were all up in arms. They gave him back his money, but they basically took the money and learned how to make money off of money. So ever since, all the banks have been doing the same thing. They may start a company out of banking and have people put in 20%, but they never fulfill the other 80% of 100%. Like on a gold system, but nobody cares. It was a stick system, how they kept. So it really depends on what we choose to believe in.
Fractional banking is what it is.
What's it called?
Fractional banking. What happens is when you deposit $1 into the bank, that gives the bank the right to loan that $1 out 10 times.
I thought it was just 8. No, they do 100% then, do they?
Well,
we always
don't know
use 100%.
Then, but right now it's 10 times.
Okay. So that's how the banking system works in the world. So they figured that out.
Right.
But they've always used that same formula, right? The world banks.
It's basically the same formula. For every $1 you put in, they're allowed to loan out so many more, because you're going to because technically what they say is, well, if I loan out 10 and each one of them pay me 50 cents, that's $5 to cover,
Yeah, they were basing retail pricing on that too when I was back in the day. So if I bought it and I put it together and I made it and got all the parts, bought the dyes and, got the leather and cut it and made my handbags, let's say. I made a lot of stuff, but shoes.
Anyway, they get $1.50 back for each one of them, so then that's $15, see?
Okay, so it's $15.
And they've made $14 off of $1.
Well, what's the markup on jewelry?
Oh, I don't have no clue there. I know De Beers keeps the diamond market under their belt.
Well, what are they marking it up as? That must be fun.
Shoot,
I don't know.
So much,
they
got so many diamonds sitting in that place. It's ridiculous.
Well, so there's all kinds of stuff we can talk about.
With the diamonds just sitting in that building.
Well, you know, we know the world works, and you have to go up the food chain or down the rabbit hole. That's just the way, left brain or right brain, but you want to be whole brain. So we want people to know more, and that's what the Internet is going to be about, communication and information. And that's my thing, is free press, freedom of speech, First Amendment right, is that right? Is that freedom of speech? Tell me it is. First and Third Amendment.
First or second?
First. I hope it's First
Second Amendment.
Freedom of speech. What's the Second Amendment?
Amendment's freedom of speech, I think. Hell, I don't know right offhand.
It may be Second Amendment. But anyway, it's first
Second
for me.
Amendment
Freedom.
speech.
I've lost all the data in my head. I can't find any of it. I don't know what's happened. I need to eat more, take vitamins. I'm getting old. So if we don't say we're not going to get old, are we going to get old? Because we're going to be working with, you know, I like working with the body, mind, spirit, but you said you were interested in anything strange, and that's sort of me. I like fascination and intrigue. But it's not just all supernatural either in science. You know, they'll say it's esoteric or phenomenology or, you know, in neuroscience, supernatural in philosophy. But there's natural scientists, and there's, you know, parapsychology. So Robert Monroe was dealing with death, right? He's the closest when it comes to near death, out-of-body experiences, Robert Monroe, right? Because
he was dealing with dreams, too, and out-of-body experiences. And,
oh, was he?
You know,
now, Mike knows about all that. How's Mike doing, by the way? Mike in Kentucky with Revolution.
He's healing. It's just going to be a while.
So he got out of ICU?
Oh, yeah, he's home.
Wow. Yay.
But he's not back up to par yet. It's going to be a while. It's going to take him quite a while.
What exactly happened to him? We're talking about Mike now. Mike
I really don't know.
In Kentucky. You know, is he our age? Was he younger than me?
He's in his 50s. I think he's about 55.
Yeah, he was my kid's age. I had my daughter at 16. Got pregnant at 15 during the Vietnam
He really
War.
don't want any too much information out there. You know, he's kind of a private person.
But when he was a musician, he wasn't, right? He played the bass and all the equipment and was on that band. That was back when he was younger, right? Huh?
Yeah. He was
younger
played
then.
Guitar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when he was in his 30s.
He was in his 30s, and then he got his farm and doing the tobacco and stuff.
Yeah, he got throat cancer and had to quit.
Oh, that's why he got out of this thing. I wondered about that. Yeah, you're right. He's single. He's private, because I didn't know why.
He didn't have
Isn't that
much
weird?
choice.
That was. It didn't have a choice. All right, but now with the diabetes and stuff, right? He's gotten better. But that comes with old age. Our bodies can't handle much sugar, and you got to really watch your balance. So that's what we're going to be about too, right? We can be about
I didn't take
health.
Almost no sugar.
Oh, I've been eating sugar during depression, but I got to stop now because I gained 15 more pounds.
I don't.
I got to get back. I got back down to 218. I was 225 with my daughter.
I think that's one of the reasons I don't get sick like a lot of people do.
Because you completely stay off of sugar?
Just about. I hardly ever eat any kind of snacks or anything like that.
Wow. What about salt?
Now, I consume salt. Hell, we come from the ocean.
What about protein?
As much as possible. I like meat. I won't lie.
You're
I ain't no vegetarian, that's for sure.
I've ate more fish down here on the ocean than I've ever ate. I didn't even eat this much in Hawaii. Well, I ate some.
I don't hardly eat fish. I
you know,
don't
one of the
eat
most.
fish.
Well, I had some Japanese people come over from Japan to wine and dine me because I was an entrepreneur, right? And they spent on me and my partner. He was a little like you, I don't know if he was 5'3". I think he may have been 5'5", maybe. I don't know. Anyway, he was short. but he was Japanese, 100% pure blood Japanese. And I had this Chinese friend. He was really tall, and so Chinese guys can be tall and